The truck was clearly overloaded. But during customs inspection, the cargo hold was completely empty. Sensing something wrong, the bald man stepped outside to check. He noticed the truck body was longer than the inside space. They fired straight toward the outside. The bullet marks confirmed his suspicion. There was a hidden compartment at the back of the cargo hold, and I was hiding inside it. The other stowaways all turned pale. Everyone knew what happened once we were exposed. The bald man did not give orders right away. Instead, he spoke calmly and asked us to come out on our own. He promised a safe place to stay. One girl pushed open the hidden door and stepped out. The bald man signaled his men to lower their weapons. He put on a gentle expression and walked toward her. In the next second, the bald man pulled out a handgun. He ordered everyone in the compartment to be taken care of. Screams filled the cargo hold one after another. His face showed no change at all. I covered my mouth tightly. I barely dared to breathe. Under his command, customs began clearing the bodies from the truck. Luck spared my life. Not long after, the container holding me was lifted onto a ship. At that moment, I believed the danger was over. I believed I would reach another country, but I did not know. The real trial had just begun. At night, violent shaking jolted me awake. I looked out through a bullet hole. A massive storm was tearing across the sea. The container was thrown straight into the ocean. A crushing impact hit. I lost consciousness instantly. When I woke up again, cold seawater was already flooding inside. I rushed to the bullet holes to look outside. All I saw was endless ocean. At that moment, my heart sank completely. I knew it clearly. Sooner or later, would fill with water. I shook as I pulled out my phone. I tried to call for help, but the screen was shattered. The touch was completely dead. I collapsed on the floor. My mind went blank. Then suddenly, the baby inside me moved. I forced myself to stand. I started searching for leaks. With tape, I sealed the holes little by little. Then I staggered to a wooden crate. I hoped there was something useful inside. The box opened. There were only storage containers, a few new hoodies, a crate of TVs, and countless wired headphones. They seemed useless at the time, but later, they saved my life. What truly terrified me was the lack of food and fresh water. I knew I could not last long like this. Just as despair set in, I saw a backpack hanging above. It was left behind by a companion. I dumped everything out. Inside were food and water, and a working power drill. I picked up a floating container. A plan formed instantly. I tore off the sealing rings, cut them apart with a knife, then pushed them into the bullet holes one by one. When the water stopped pouring in, next, I found a soft tube from the television packaging. I fed it through a hole and slowly drained the water out. The water level finally began to drop, but at that moment, a sharp pain hit my abdomen. My labor began in the stormy night. I gave birth to a baby girl. I knew very well, if I stayed trapped here, once the food ran out, neither of us would survive. But facing an all-metal container, I saw no way out until I noticed the drill on the floor. I realized this might be my only chance. I acted immediately, drilling upward with everything I had. 3 rows of small holes appeared in the steel.